Greetings. This is attorney Robert Pascal, and today we will start our first installment of my immigration tips and advice series. Today we will be discussing preparing for your United States citizenship interview. I'm going to go over some general points with you. The first of which will be that you should always be punctual for your appointment. Take a look at the interview notice. You will see that normally you are to be there no earlier than 30 minutes before the interview time. What I recommend to some clients is to take a drive by the USCIS office where you'll be having your interview, a day or a couple of weeks before, so that way you won't have any problem being able to locate the office on the day of the interview, because you will have some nervousness. The second point, of course, is to always bring with you the requested documents. Take a look at the interview notice. On the interview notice, they will have a list of the documents that you will need to bring with you. For instance, if you've had any type of prior criminal convictions, you will need to actually bring with you certified copies of the arrest reports and the convictions. Also, if you have any child support that you've been paying, you will need to bring documentation with you. That will also include copies of the payments and a notarized letter from the custodial parent indicating that you have been paying your child support in a timely manner. Or if your citizenship is based on a marriage to a U.S. citizen, there's also a checklist for the documentation that will need to be provided. So take the time, go on the USCIS.gov website and look under N400. They have an actual document checklist there. Take the time, review it, and see what documentation you will need to bring with you. Normally, the biggest problem that I've had in the past, with applications not being granted at the end of the interview is usually due to the fact that the client did not bring the required documentation with them. So please take the time, review the checklist, and make sure you have all those necessary documents with you. The next point is to always dress appropriately. So, business casual's fine. No shorts, no t-shirts. I recommend usually, no sneakers. This is a very important interview. You do want to show the officer that will be interviewing you due respect for the application process and for the interview. The next point, of course, is to spend the time studying the English and the civics requirements for the interview. Now, there are some exceptions, but if you are subject to having to take the English and civics exam, the USCIS website, if you go on there, they do have a number of educational resources that actually provide you 100 questions and answers, of which 10 you will be asked orally during the interview, and you will need to get at least 6 of those right. Now, as to the actual English portion of the exam, it will cover from the moment you begin the interview, when you're asked questions pertaining to the information that you put into your N4 application and your responses. You may be asked, I've had some interviews where the clients have been asked to, write down a sentence, write down a answer in English, So if you are not extremely proficient in the English language and do not qualify for a language exemption requirement, then it is very important that you take the time to improve your English skills as much as possible prior to and after submitting your N400 application. There are many local schools that provide English as a second language classes free of charge. Normally you will have about 6 months from when you file the application to your actual interview. So if you are deficient in your language, I advise you to go ahead and enroll in those classes and get yourself up to speed. Then lastly is to answer the officer that will be examining you, with either a yes ma'am or a no ma'am. I always tell my clients to show the officer due respect because they have a very important job and they're also assessing you too. And as a side note, to just relax when you get in there, take a deep breath. If for any reason you do not pass a particular portion of the interview, they will normally give you a return notice to come back in about 3 months and take a second interview chance. If you do have an issue related to either a criminal conviction or something that may affect your eligibility to go and receive your U.S. citizenship, then I recommend bringing an attorney with you. So with those general points and general tips and guidance, I wish you the best of luck with your interview, and I look forward to providing you additional information in the future. Thank you.